Susume. I think I said the right word. I was on the boat on the lake. Should I just press everything? I'm gonna press everything. Why not? It's our friend. Something wrong, Mr. Right? Why did I... There were so many things wrong, I don't know where to begin. You just said he was out on the boat. It's fine. Oh. Well, okay. First of all, what time was it? Oh, it was after 11 when I went out on the boat. By that time, everyone had gone home for the night. So I waited until the coast was clear, so to speak. And why were you out on the boat on such a late hour? I was looking for something, and I found it. Looking for something? Yeah. Mr. Butts, what was it you were looking for?
What the witness was searching for is irrelevant.
Oh, don't you want to know, though?
Most likely he was hunting for this Gordy.
That's surprisingly close to the truth in a sense.
This is all irrelevant. Let's get it over with.
So I quietly slipped the boat back into the rental shop rental shop dock. Around what time was that? Well, let's see. I figured I was out searching for about an hour. I guess it was around 12. Yeah. You're not sure? Hey, don't give me that face! I'm not some sort of human sundial, okay? People use watches these days, Larry. He should be all about the time. He gave a girl a fucking clock statue. Why'd you give her a clock statue if you didn't care about the time? Where did the sound come from? Oh, well, I wasn't too sure about that. I looked around, you know. Did you look at the lake? Yeah, I looked. I looked out over the lake, but I didn't see a boat. Wasn't there a boat on the lake? You just said there wasn't. What? Duh. Order! Order! Well, Mr. Butts! Whoa! Everyone just calm down, okay? Oh, dude. I mean, it was real foggy that night. I'm not sure whether there was a boat out there or not. You idiot. Oh, okay. No problem. That's just the most important part of this case. So after I heard that single gunshot, I went home. So you only heard one bang, correct? Yep. Huh. Well, Nick? It was a pretty wishy-washy testimony, wasn't it? I guess I should just start working on the contradictions. Sorry. I wish I could be more helpful. I wish I could call my sister. You're good, Maya. You're good, fam. Okay, so obviously the contradiction is that he only heard one bangy. He heard a single gunshot go off. But, contrary to Lotta's testimony, she heard two. Wait a second, Larry. What? You only heard one bang? Are you sure? That's what I said. But Miss Lotta Hart testified yesterday that she heard two bangs. And the old man just now said the same thing. They both heard two gunshots that night. Huh? Were you even listening? Were you paying attention at all to what they said? Yo, Nick, please. Huh? You know, something's been bothering me. I'm a witness, see? I'm like a customer here. You gotta treat me nice and stuff, okay? He's your best friend, Nick. Mr. Butts. What? You only heard one gunshot? Are you sure? Well, to tell you the truth, I'm not sure. Eh? Not sure? How could you not be sure? Well, I might have missed the other gunshot. I was, listening to something else. Something else? My radio, dude! With my headphones! What?! My man listens to the radio. I think this was probably during a time when, like, well, I don't remember the years of when CD players were a thing. Well, maybe he could have had a cassette player. I don't know. Order! Order! And stop that booing! Mr. Butts! You were listening to the radio with your headphones? Yeah, so what? Is that a crime? I listen listen to my radio. Everybody listens to the radio. What's the big idea? Oh, what's the big deal? Mr. Von Karma, your opinion?
Waste of time. I do not accept this witness, nor his shoddy testimony.
Well, Mr. Wright, should he continue the testimony? Yes. Yes, please. Yes, please. Yes. Your Honor, please allow the witness to continue his testimony. Bah. No. Oh, sorry.
Nothing is more pitiful than a lawyer who doesn't know when he's lost.
Well, very well, Mr. Butts. Please give your testimony, and be sure to include details like a radio. Right, leave it to me.
I wouldn't if there were any other way out of this, believe me. What Larry heard.
It's lonely being alone on Christmas Eve. That's why I was listening to an all-request show on the radio, see? I was listening to it real booming loud like. But I'm sure I heard the gunshot. I remember exactly what the DJ was saying when I heard it too. It's coming, you guys. It's coming. You were listening to the radio at a high volume? Yeah, what's the big problem? Can't a man listen to his radio in peace? Isn't this a free country? God bless America. I truly believe Larry has no idea what the problem here is.
Judge, can you believe a word this witness says? What he heard was probably nothing more than a drum beat from the radio.
True enough. It is difficult to believe this testimony.
Wait, Your Honor.
The witness says he remembers exactly what the DJ said when he heard the gunshot. Excuse me? DJ? An announcer. The guy who says things on the radio. Anyway, what this means is that when he heard the sound, no music was playing. The DJ only talks between songs, so he could have heard the gunshot from the lake. I'd like to cross-examine the witness, Your Honor. Very well, Mr. Wright. I can't believe I'm continuing this charade. I didn't realize that they called it... Do you call the radio hosts DJs? That doesn't sound right. Don't they only... I guess they... Well, I don't know. I don't know what you would call a radio. I thought they were just called maybe hosts. I don't know. Maybe it is a DJ. Wiggle, wiggle, wow. I don't think I need to press everything. I think this is the only one that matters.
What does she say?
We know it's a she.
Mr. Wright, please cease these pointless questions. What possible good could knowing what a radio DJ say do us?
Indeed, Mr. Von Karma has a point. I'll allow the question only if you see some reason why we should care. We should care. We should care. We all know why we should care. It's coming. We should care, Your Honor. Of course we should.
Why?
Well, how do you know if we don't ask, Fine. Very well. Mr. Butts, please testify to the court. What was the radio announcer saying when you heard the gunshot? 1 second. There's something I just want to go over. Okay. Oh, Okay. Okay. I got it. Okay. Did I read this? I might have read that already. Just when she said, hey, it's almost Christmas, I heard the gunshot. Are you sure? Of course I am. She had this real sexy voice. Maybe Von Karma's right. I'm not sure how that helped us at all. This is the most ludicrous testimony I've ever heard. Wait, no, you idiot! But there's one gleaming ray of hope in there. I've got to press it until we get to the bottom of what happened. I have to press it? No. Is it, do I present something? I wonder what I present here. Okay, cool. Oh, this... Is that... I'm seeing something on the camera. Is that the fucking sun hitting... Hold up. Oh, it is. Where's it? Hey! It's a party! Where? Anyway, the sun is hitting the webcam. What do I do about this? How do I... Hang on, let's see. Okay, I think it's okay. Yeah, it's okay now. I had to use a little bit of tape on the window shades. It's all good. It'll come off later in the day, probably, if I remember. Anyway.
Larry, are you absolutely sure what you're saying is correct?
Huh? What's with the face? You look scary, dude. Now, I don't know why this is the case, but the minute I block the sun from hitting my eye, I kind of, like, hear myself. There's, like, more clarity in my voice. I don't know. That doesn't make any sense, I don't think. Hey, if you're trying to scare me, you better know I don't scare that easy. It's something the matter, Mr. Wright.
Your Honor, did you hear what the witness just said? The DJ said, "Hey, it's almost Christmas," when he heard the gunshot.
Indeed. And?
Almost Christmas means it wasn't Christmas. Do you realize what this means?
It wasn't as dramatic as people make it out to be, because if you guys are familiar, that's like another thing that's like meme to shit. The tape came off. Oh, well, anyway, it doesn't matter. That's like one of those things that's like meme to shit in the Ace Attorney like community. Like, almost Christmas means it wasn't Christmas.
Did I read that line? I don't know if I read that line. When he heard the gunshot, it was still Christmas Eve.
That would seem to be the case, yes.
But he should have heard the gunshot after midnight. This photograph is irrefutable proof of this fact.
Let's see what the time was on the photo taken when the gun triggered Mrs. Hart's camera. 12:25. And how do you read that time? How do you read 00:15? Like, I know that means that it's like midnight 15, like at 12:15. Like, I'll just say 12:15, I guess. 15 minutes after midnight on Christmas Day.
This is a clear contradiction, Your Honor.
Hold up. Oh, I can't bring out my court record? I can't bring out the court record when it's zoomed in on his face? Order! Order! 1 second. Why did he say 00:15, but then here it says 12:15? Game, make up your mind. Order! Order! What does this mean? The two prior witnesses heard gunshots after midnight. However, this witness says that he heard a gunshot before midnight.
Judge, the answer is simple. The current witness is plainly mistaken. Just look at him. Suspicious.
What's suspicious about him? He has a cool shirt. What? Well, Mr. Wright, what do you think about Mr. Butt's claim before he heard What do you think about Mr. Butt's claim he heard the gunshot before midnight?
He's right.
He has to be, otherwise I lose.
Larry's not mistaken, Your Honor. He heard that gunshot before midnight. Intriguing. I'm assuming you have evidence for this wild claim. Show me evidence that there was a gunshot before midnight. Look at this photograph.
Every time it makes me go, haha. This was taken by our witness yesterday, Miss Lotta Hart, with her automatic camera. The timestamp on the photo reads December 24th, 11:50 p.m. Oh? What? There's nothing on the lake in this picture.
Your Honor, the real issue here is not why nothing is shown in this photograph. It is why this photograph exists at all.
What do you mean?
Your Honor, this photograph was taken by an automatic camera.
God, talk faster!
What are you doing? The camera was set to go off in response to loud noises.
Aha!
Correct. There was a lot. Ow! Oh, I just bit myself. Ow! God damn it. Oh, that hurt. There was a loud noise on the lake at 11:50 p.m. This is why this photograph was taken. In other words, when Larry heard that gunshot, it was most definitely still Christmas Eve.
Indeed, it would seem that this is the case. Then, where does that leave us? Miss Hart testified that she heard the gunshots after midnight. Are you claiming she was mistaken?
Not at all, Your Honor. It is the fact that the camera also triggered 15 minutes after midnight. Your Honor, that night there were two sets of gunshots with a 25-minute pause between them.
Oh my goodness gracious. Oh, okay, well, why would this be?
Don't be fooled, Judge. The camera was set to respond to loud noises.
Yes?
Just. There is no proof that the loud noise at 11:50 was a gunshot. Why? The witness could have sneezed, triggering the camera.
Hey! My nose was clear that night, man! Clear! Well, Mr. Wright, there's no turning back now. Can you prove that the loud noise at 11:50 was indeed a gunshot? Please show the court evidence if you have any. What is it? I mean, the only thing I can think of is that it's this, which says that it was fired 3 times. Is there anything else that could possibly... I guess not, right? Can I just show the gun? This is my evidence! The murder weapon? Something about this pistol was bothering me, Your Honor. Both of the witnesses who testified yesterday heard 2 gunshots. However, the murder weapon was fired 3 times. When then was the last shot fired? Only now have I realized the truth. That 3rd shot was the shot Larry heard just before midnight. Yeah, I was mistaken just now. The Von Karma, when you see him in the gallery shot, I thought that his head was like completely balding, like, and his hair was like up to here, like up to top, but it's actually not. It's like the light glare, so his hair is actually properly where it's supposed to be, but there's a shine in the front here, and that's why it looks like he was balding. Not that anyone cared. I just happened to notice it. Order! Order! That would make sense of the evidence we've seen so far. However, this leaves me wondering exactly what did happen tonight on the lake.
Exactly. If this is true, there were 2 sets of gunshots separated by 25 minutes. One at 11:50 and another at 15 minutes after midnight. Why, I ask you? Why?
Uh-oh, I better think of something quick. Wait a second. Gunshots separated by 25 minutes? Ah! What did you think? What's wrong, Nick? I have it! Huh? Remember the case with the Steel Samurai? Huh? Yeah, of course I remember. The murderer in this case had the same idea as the murderer in that case. Oh, that the victim died before we all think they died, I guess. I actually don't even fully remember the details of the Steel Samurai case anymore. No, whatever.
What do you mean?
Maya! Yes? If we don't figure this out now, we'll never overturn Edward's guilty verdict. I've got a hunch, and I'm gonna run with it.
Right. I mean, is this safe?
Safe? We've already gotten a guilty verdict. We have nothing to lose. You just watch and let me know if I say anything that sounds fishy, okay? You want her to call you out?
Right, Nick.
I mean, I know what it is. It's just like the way he says it is like so. Your Honor. Yes, Mr. Wright. The testimony just now had cleared up this entire case. What do you mean, Mr. Wright? Wait, maybe I'm wrong? Well, I have to see it again. It doesn't stay there long enough for me to see. I thought it was shiny, but maybe it's not.
So you finally realized the truth? There can be no other murderer here than Miles Edward himself.
Imagine having someone as your tutelage? No, your subordinate, the opposite of a mentor, for like years and years, and they end up being the lawyer you trained them to be, and then you're just ready to like fucking send them to jail. I mean, obviously, you don't want to be biased. Like if they're actually a murderer, you want to make sure that they're like charged with a crime. But we know that Edward didn't do it. He wouldn't do no such thing. He's a good boy. Oh, I missed my mouth. Wrong, Von Karma. A man was shot that night, but it wasn't Edward who did the shooting.
No. Listen, rookie. Take a deep breath and consider the facts. At the time of the murder, one boat was on that lake. This was shown by the witness's photograph. The defendant, Edward, and the victim, Robert Hammond, were on the boat.
I forgot it was Hammond that died.
There was a gunshot fired on the boat, and Robert Hammond fell into the lake. The distance of the shooting was 1 meter. It couldn't have been suicide. Well, the guilty party has to be the other man on the boat. I admit, it is hard to imagine any other possibility. What if someone just like fucking from like across the lake onto the shore just had like a sniper rifle? Or like a gun that can shoot really far distance and you can aim. And it's just like, pew! Like, you never know. I admit, it is hard to imagine any other possibility. Yes, but this assumes that the victim was shot at 15 minutes after midnight. What do you mean by that, Mr. Wright? We have photographic evidence of the time of the shooting. The timestamp on the photo says 12:15. It doesn't say 00. How would you actually, like, verbally say that time? 00:15? But Larry heard a gunshot 25 minutes before that. Robert Hammond was killed then, 25 minutes before the shots on the lake. That's the only way that Edward could have been innocent. Mr. Wright, are you quite mad? Explain who the two men in the boat are. Edward and the murderer! Of course, it was Edward and the murderer. After the murderer killed Robert Hammond at 11:50, he assumed the guise of Mr. Hammond and met Edward. What? Are you serious? Yes, Edward won't tell us why he went to the lake that night. However, I have a hunch. That night, Robert Hammond called Edward to the lake. Why can't you just make Edward testify on the stand? Because it's relevant to the case, right? So it's like, you should force him to testify. Or whatever. I guess Nick knows it, so. Now Edward didn't know Robert Hammond's face that well. That's why he didn't suspect anything when the murderer took Robert Hammond's place. I'm not sure what to make of all this. But you would think that after seeing like, are you saying that Edward hasn't seen Robert Hammond's like portrait shot? Like he hasn't seen this? Like he hasn't seen this at all? You'd think maybe not. Maybe this is a picture from the days. This is like an old picture. I don't know, whatever. Ludicrous! I love that rapper! Mr. Wright! Whoops, tell us the name of the murderer then! The murderer's name? Right, it's... I don't know. Actually, I don't know the murderer's name. You don't know? Black sheep. Again, you waste my time. I don't know because he never told us. Like I've been new from the beginning. Obviously, I've been known who that person was on the boat. It seems like just so random that it doesn't seem as logical as they make it out to be that Nick would jump onto accusing this person of being the I feel like the leap to the jump to that logic doesn't seem quite right, that you say that he was killed before midnight. Edward was on the boat with the murderer. The murderer is the old man from the boat shop. Like what ties the two? Maybe will he say it? Maybe he'll say it. The murderer is the caretaker of the boat shop. That old man. I mean, you would know, like you can guess what it is based on like process of elimination, because there's no one else relevant to this case that could fit the bill. But still, it's a little bit odd. At 11:50, he was the one who killed Robert Hammond. The caretaker of the boat shop? Where did he do this? There weren't any boats on the lake then. Why would he have to go all the way out on the lake just to shoot someone? May I suggest that the real scene of this crime was not on a boat? What? Did I ask? I think I might have asked this already. Why did Edward and him even go out into the lake? Like Edward just like, the guy was just like, let's go take a little boat ride on the lake, and Edward's like, okay, fam. Like what? It's also like late night. Why would you do that? Well then, where did the murder take place? Show the judge where the murder really took place. At the hot dog stand! Just kidding. Here, of course, the boat shop where he lives. That way he can meet with the victim without anyone seeing. Do you have proof that the boat shop was the scene of the crime? Recall Larry's testimony, if you will. I'm a boat. Wee! That night, he was out on the lake in the boat, searching for something. Wee, 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 wee. He fucking parked his boat right into another boat. He finds it and returns the boat. And then, just as he's starting to head home, he hears a gunshot. He heard a gunshot, Your Honor. Even though he was wearing headphones at the time. In other words, the gunshot was very, very close by. And where would that be if he had just returned the boat? The boat shop. Mr. Wright, what happened that night on Gourd Lake? Please tell the court from the beginning. Yes, Your Honor. Nick, are you sure about this? Not really. But I think if I start from the beginning, and I take it slow, I might just be able to figure this out. How are we gonna do this? That night. Oh, I love that this part where he's recalling like the events is the witness testimony song, cause he's giving his testimony. The caretaker of the boat shop called Robert Hammond to his shop. or rather, this was around 11:50. Also, man, this man just straight up murdered a person right in front of his bird. That's fucked up. That bird must be so traumatized. I would never. At least make the bird, like put a towel over the bird. Also, the bird didn't get scared. I feel like if you heard a gunshot, you would spook the bird. This was around 11:50. That was when the gunshot that Larry heard was fired. After that, the caretaker put on Robert Hammond's coat. He became Robert Hammond. He stole his face and everything. Then he got on the boat with Edward and went out to the middle of the lake. Then, who fired the pistol on the boat, Mr. Wright? Boat shop caretaker. That's so funny that the close-up of supposedly the boat caretaker looks so different from his actual sprite. Look at his face. He looks like fatter? What is this? What? He doesn't look that fat, does he? I always pegged him as like a skinny guy. Why does he look so different here? He looks like a completely different man. I don't remember if you could see that much detail. Well, you probably couldn't see that much detail in the original game. It's just so weird. There's so much things you can see in HD. Of course, it was the murderer who shot the pistol. He shot twice. Both missed Edward on purpose. Wait a minute. Yes? Why would he shoot twice if he didn't mean to hurt anyone? Details. Notice, Mr. Wright. The moment you run out of explanations is the moment you lose. Tell us why the murderer had to fire twice. To create a witness! Yes, if you shoot twice into a lake, a being comes out of the water and witnesses your actions. I believe he shot twice to create a witness, Your Honor. Create a witness? The murderer lifts his pistol and fires one shot. That ensures that anyone who heard the shot would look at the lake. You know what's weird? That means he had, like, obviously you can't, like, go pew, right? There's like a slight bit of time before you can shoot the other shot. You're telling me that Edward witnessed this guy shoot twice at the boat and he just couldn't figure out what happened? And also, he also pulled out a gun, so he's like, Edward is watching a man pull out a gun. Even if you miss it the first time, you would have counted it the second time. No, unless he was just like, duh, what's that sound? Like I said, Edward, open your eyes. I know it was late, but geez. That ensures that anyone who heard the shot would look at the lake. Indeed, Miss Hart did exactly that after hearing the first gunshot. Next, the murderer waits a bit and he fires again. And he waits a bit. I mean, obviously this is Nick's retelling of the events. This is just like the Indanga, the comic book section. Like, there's some aspects that you don't know for sure if that's how it went down because you're just telling it from a third person. It's just... And then... I go swim. The murderer jumps from the boat himself, leaving the pistol in the boat behind him. And what? Did Edward just like fucking row back into the dock without looking around to see if he can find the guy in the water? Also, you're telling me this guy swam across the lake, like down the lake into the dock? Maybe he wasn't. Maybe they weren't so far away from the dock. So the thought of him swimming underwater without ever coming up for breath, and Edward just never noticing. But I guess it was also foggy. Whatever. So the details. Leaving the pistol in the boat behind him. I see. to someone looking from the edge of the lake. It would appear that the one of the men in the boat has shot the other.
The murderer didn't know about the automatic camera, of course. Maybe he should have fucking learned. That's why he shot twice to draw attention to the boat. Once you realize that, everything else falls into place. The boat shop caretaker swam back to his shop. Then he put Mr. Hammond's wet coat back on the body. And threw the body into the lake. This is what happened, Your Honor. These are the events that transpired that night on Gourd Lake. Wouldn't you also be able to tell that the body didn't, like... Oh, never mind. Never mind.
Bailiff, bring out the witness from before. The boat shop caretaker, quickly!